evening, and I welcome you to your transformative program, Politics and Beyond. I'm your host, Emmanuel Wilsonjnr, the Chief Crusader Against Corruption here in Ghana. This evening, we are going to have another interesting episode, an insightful one for that matter. And this time, the episode is going to be such that you are going to be the guest, as we've been doing periodically. And so I'm going to do everything possible to give you ample time to share your views and comments on the topic that we are going to discuss tonight. There has been so many things happening over the past period. One of it has to do with the Iran-Israel war that seems to be going on, and day in, day out, it looks like it is becoming so intense. We'll activate the phone lines for you to share your views, your comments, your worries, your perspective on it, particularly on how you think it's going to affect this country and it's going to affect the economy and how it's going to also affect you. The other thing that we'll be talking about has to do with Ken Ofori-Attah's, his brouhaha. Over the past period, we've been seeing and reading and hearing from the OSP's office whether Ken Ofori-Attah is indeed at the hospital or he's not at the hospital. Is he a fugitive? Is he running away? How is this whole thing playing out, and how is it going to affect us as a country? How is it also going to affect you? That's the second area that we'll be looking at. And so when the phone line is activated, I will also invite you to share your views on it, your comments on it, your perspective on it. The third one that we'll be also looking at, which will also give you the opportunity to share your views on, has to do with the Ghana cedi and the dollar relationship. There's been so many accolades, particularly to the finance minister, Atuforsen, talking about how great he is, the fact that he's been able to stabilize the cedi, and now the cedi is gaining weight and gaining strength, and the dollar is weakening, and all that. Importers are hailing it, exporters are crying. We'll be looking at that also. So these are the three main things that we'll be looking at this evening. The phone lines will be activated. You share in your views, your comments, and even before the phone lines are activated, as we always do, you have the opportunity to share your comments and your views, your perspectives on these three areas that we'll be discussing this evening through the WhatsApp line that is exhibited or will be exhibited on your screen. Just this evening, it also came to my attention that the teachers, and they call themselves the teacher trainees from the colleges of education 2022 year batch or year group. As we speak right now, it is past 8 o'clock. They've been at the education ministry in Accra, and the information getting to me is that they've decided that they are even going to spend the entire night there because they have some issues that needs to be addressed. And rightly so, if the issues are really legitimate and tangible, then those issues need to be addressed, irrespective of when the issues started. And so we'll also have the opportunity to listen to some of their leaders, telling us their grievances and putting all together. When the phone lines are activated, you, the viewer, who is going to be my guest this evening, you're going to get the opportunity to speak on any of these four topics that has been expressed here. So the Iran-Israel war, the teacher trainees who are currently, outside there under this weather that we can't predict in this rainy season, deciding that till their issues are addressed, they are not going home, they are going to sleep there. The Ken Ofori-Attah's brouhaha, the cedi, the dollar stability that has happened. We'll be sharing ideas on it. So just stay tuned. This evening is going to be really a very, very, very engaging episode. As I said, you are going to be the guest, and the opportunity is going to be given to you to express your views, your comments, so that we can have a very insightful one. Before we take a commercial break, I want to share a brief story with you, and that has to do with what we call goodwill. In the year 2016, as you all know, Ghana went into a general elections. The general elections that we went into, the result came out, and it so happened that His Excellency Akufo-Addo emerged the winner. 2017, he was sworn in. typically he had what we will all describe as goodwill, and it was so strong. Most people may have forgotten, but the goodwill that seems to be experiencing now by the His Excellency John Mahama's administration, a similar thing has happened before in the year 2017. And if you recall, because of the goodwill, the then president Akufo-Addo decided to even escalate the number of appointees, over 100 people, into his administration. And yet Ghanaians applauded. They didn't see anything wrong with it, knowing very well that it was going to have a significant effect on the taxpayers, our taxes. But yet, because of the goodwill, they were still, or Ghanaians were still applauding him and saying that you can do whatever you want to do. All we want is a better Ghana. So go ahead and do it. Subsequently, he decided to come up with so many policies, some so unreasonable, some reasonable and all that. And then still the goodwill was there. So people were not seeing the effect of it. Gradually, till it got to a stage where it became so obvious that the path he has taken wasn't a path that was going to help this country. And at the end of his administration, it was so clear that his administration has become one of the worst administrations Ghana has ever recorded. But you see, the point is, when the goodwill was fading gradually, I'm sure he didn't even realize it. And he still thought and believed that, yes, he had Ghanaians. And that is why when Ghanaians started complaining, he would still come back and was speaking, and his appointees were speaking as if they were living outside Ghana, or they were not even on earth. They were still thinking that the goodwill was there, till it so materialized and they realized that Ghanaians have totally lost interest. Fast forward, in the year 2024, we went into a general elections. His Excellency John Mahama emerged the victor. Right after winning, the goodwill was so strong, very, very, very strong. 5-6 months on, there are so many things that has happened, so many things that are still happening. And yet, because the goodwill is there, just as it was in the year 2017, 2018 under Akufo-Addo, because the goodwill is still there, the leadership seems not to be realizing that gradually that goodwill is depleting, is going down. And they are not realizing it. As we speak, strangely, appointees of this government, most of them are already becoming so arrogant to the extent that when individuals are calling them, they will not even respond, beginning to repeat the same attitude, arrogance that the Akufo-Addo-led government started exhibiting in the year 2017, 2018. The impact was not felt because they still thought the goodwill was there. But you see, if the goodwill was 100%, as we speak now, the goodwill that is being enjoyed by His Excellency John Mahama's administration has significantly come down. And it is just because majority of the appointees are behaving in a way that is really communicating, arrogance, is communicating pomposity, is communicating disrespect to individuals who really elected and worked for them. As we speak today, majority of the foot soldiers of the NDC seems to be so angry. And subsequent episode, I'll be taking time to go sector by sector, ministry by ministry, agency by agency, and we will discuss what is really happening for you to appreciate the fact that the goodwill that the NDC administration led by His Excellency John Mahama, beginning of this year, 2025 January, when he was sworn in, 5 into 6 months on, that goodwill is significantly coming down, and it is really, really, really going to have a significant effect, a negative effect, if the trend continues this way. The people that came together, the foot soldiers that came together, rallied, did everything practically possible. The floating voters, those individuals who do not associate themselves to any political party, who decided that they needed a change and they wanted a change in government and brought in the John Mahama-led administration, most of them are speedily beginning to give up and feel that this is not what they bargained for. The point I'm making is that when you begin losing the goodwill, it's a gradual process. And before you realize, that goodwill will vanish without you appreciating it. Remember, we are just about 6 months into, the John Mahama's administration. Very soon we'll get into the first year. Very soon, before you realize, second year has come. After second year, the next focus becomes internal elections. After internal elections, 2027, 2028, we are going into a general elections. Practically, every administration has about just 2 years to ensure, particularly that his base is satisfied. All indicators and pointers suggest strongly that the base of the NDC seems not to be satisfied with current trend. And it's a warning. And so the caution to the Jubilee House, to the leadership of this administration, is that they should not still be in a wonderland thinking that the goodwill that they started with in January this year, that goodwill is still there as it was. It is speedily coming down and it is speedily reducing. And I'm sure at the appropriate time, even when the opportunity comes for viewers to talk, I'm sure you will get one or two individuals who will collaborate or support that which I'm talking about. We shouldn't take goodwill for granted. I'm going to take a short commercial break, and when I come back, I'll quickly take you through, the introduction of the topics that I have communicated to you. And right after taking you through it as a form of introduction, the phone lines will be activated, and I'll hear your views on it. Stay tuned.
If I cry na menyisika, etia ye mefui.
Ehinfa pa na menya bosia, edia tre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre, miye bosia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yemamu akwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekuokuo abosia, susu account, and that's all our savings account. Me bada chain savings account, and the akeka ho. Press Suhum Rural Bank was 034229186. Na won so wetu miaka sɛ.
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka ona.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596-273-546 or 0596-273-547. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to AutoCheck Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to Accra.
Sure.
Emission, check.
Alignment, check.
Brakes, check.
Visit AutoChecks
at Koforidua Aquadum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much. Auto checks. Check.
Auto checks. Your safety, our priority.
Auto checks. Ghana, get ready to win big and live large with Mega Cash Lucky Box, the game where you could walk away with instant cash prizes. It's easy to play. Just dial *426*5# on all networks. Follow the prompt, pick a lucky box, and reveal your cash prize. It's that simple. Win massive, up to 500,000 Ghana cedis. Don't miss your chance. Players all over Ghana are winning now.
I won!
What are you waiting for? Dial *426*5# or visit www.megacashluckybox.com and play on our web portal. The minimum to play is 5 Ghana cedis. Your lucky box could be holding that big cash prize. Mega Cash Lucky Box. Dial *426*5# and win instant cash today. Don't wait. Remember, terms and conditions apply and is annually approved on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Welcome back. As I indicated to you, this evening we are going to be as brief as possible because I want to activate the phone line as early as possible to have you to be part of it. 3-4 issues. The first one has to do with the impact of Iran-Israel war on Ghana's economy. The second one we're going to look at is the Kenuforiata, as I indicated. Then the third one we are going to look at is the CD dollar that has, the relationship that we have. But again, as I indicated this evening, it came to my attention that our brothers, our sisters, I'm sure some may be mothers and fathers because I'm sure they are adults and probably some may have kids. So our fathers, our mothers, our friends and loved ones, as we speak, past 8 p.m., they are all at the education's ministry as we speak now. They call themselves, that's the teacher trainees from the Colleges of Education 2022 year batch or year group. They have some concerns. And right from 2022 to date, that should be over 2 years or so now, to date, those concerns have not been addressed. And so we'll quickly talk to the leadership to tell us what exactly is happening, how they are faring over there. And then right after that, we will also look at the things that we talked about. But I'm sure as we try to get them on the phone for us to talk to them, I want us to look at one of the topics, and that has to do with the Kenuforiates issue. Now, if you look at it, we had a former finance minister in the name of Ken Oforiatta, who is now a subject to an Interpol red notice over an alleged misappropriation of $58 million related to the National Cathedral project. $58 million. And all of you in this country know about the National Cathedral project. In fact, a friend of mine who is outside this country called me some few weeks ago, and he was teasing me over the cathedral. He said that is the swimming pool still available? So it is something that everyone is aware of, and we know it. The fact that we, or the leadership then, perceived or purportedly misappropriated some funds. And so Ken Oforiatta's name has been mentioned. He's been invited over and over to come and assist in investigation. He says he's not coming in the name of not being well. Some investigations and checks that we did suggest that it is not so clear whether or not he's truly in a hospital as we speak. It is not so clear. And so we can't really tell. But the point is, right now, he is on the Interpol red list, notice. What is its implications for us as a country? People say that it's going to affect investor perception, in that there's going to be a heightened corruption fears, and this may deter foreign direct investors or investment, or it will even weaken their credit worthiness. Because if you have your former finance minister on an Interpol red notice. It's a dangerous and a serious thing. So that is something that people perceive is going to affect. The other thing has to do with the donor confidence and the fact that it could jeopardize relationships with the IMF. It can also jeopardize relationship with the World Bank and other financiers, as far as Ghana's financial relationship is concerned, particularly with outside donors. And the third thing has to do with the policy continuity. Political distractions and potential legal uncertainty may show or slow reform, implementation, and public spending discipline. In summary, or in brief, these are the negative things that our former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta's current status, being put on the Interpol red notice, is going to have on the country, or is going to have on our economy as we speak. Let's go to the phone line and then quickly talk to one of the leaders of the teacher trainees from the Colleges of Education 2022 year batch, and his name is Kofi Simon. Kofi, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
How are you doing?
It's not very fine, but by the grace of God, we are managing.
Kofi, if you can speak out a bit, I know it is not very fine. Tell me, where exactly are you now?
So currently, we are just dispersing from the forecourt of the Ghana Education Service.
And what exactly took you there?
All right, so we came here purposely to seek answers to a problem that has been lingering on for about 10 months now, and it has to do with staff IDs and then salary issues. In fact, last year, we were officially appointed by the Ghana Education Service to our various posts as teachers, and so officially on 10th September, we resumed work at our various posts. Then along the line, we were told that we'll be having staff IDs that will really specify that we are teachers. And so in December, we had the first batch of staff IDs released. Prior to that, we were informed that the staff IDs will come in batches, so we were not in a rush at all. So when the first batch of staff IDs came, those who were actually found their names.
Kofi, hold on. Can you position yourself a bit? There are some hitches in your phone. If you can position yourself a bit so we can hear you clearly.
Okay, is it better now?
I think so. It's far better than before. Please go on.
Okay, so as I was saying, some people were fortunate to have received their staff IDs in December last year. And so because we were told the staff IDs come in batches, we were patiently waiting until in January when the letter came from the Chief of Staff that some people or some staff who are not yet on payroll to have their appointment revoked. We also know very well that if you graduate from the College of Education, you qualify for an automatic posting. And so some of these things do not necessarily affect us. So we were in that high spirit. And so we got to a time when things were so clear, and we decided to seek answers from our district and then our respective regional offices. However, anytime you press on them for answers, you couldn't get anything positive to tell us. Then there was another communique that says we should go to our regional offices for revalidation. We did that perfectly. And then after that, there was another release of staff ID. Yes, so some of us couldn't still find our names in it. So in April, we decided to come to the CES headquarters in Accra here to find out what is causing the delay. And to our also surprise, we were told that a clearance that has been issued back in 2023, which took effect from last year for our posting, has actually expired, and it happened in December last year. And so, as an agency, they had written to the finance minister, the then finance minister, for an extension of the clearance. As we speak now, we haven't heard anything about the extension of the clearance. At any time we ask questions or we demand questions, they only tell us that the clearance had expired, they are waiting for extension, and so to relax the staff IDs to come. And we've been patient to the 10th month as we speak now. And since that 10 months is enough to be patient. So today we decided to take it the GES and then seek for more clarification.
Kofi, since you went to the GES office, have you had the opportunity of getting the attention of any of the authorities, directors, anyone, or even the minister?
Initially, we were assembled by the, I'm told it's the PR for the GES. It's the GES conference room. And then he promised that once we operate, he will invite other authorities to join us. And then we have a conversation about it. We were waiting, we waited for close to 30 minutes and nobody attended to us. And then later on, there was an instruction that we should descend again. So we descended and we were still waiting patiently, at least for somebody to come and address us. Then one woman who refused to even tell us her identity came and then asked for our reasons for being there. So one of us said who things there. And then to our surprise, it was like, whatever thing we are saying to her is new to her. Besides, she doesn't even know the category of teachers that we are. And so we should go and put everything on paper and then submit it. Fine. We did that. We went back. We put everything on paper and then presented it to them. Awaiting a feedback. So we were waiting until somewhere around 2:40 to 50 days about when we saw that 2 pickup full of police, fully armed, in there and then asked us in the next 3 minutes we vacated the premises.
Is he the same person, the one that came to you saying that she's not aware or she can't even she can't identify who you guys are? Is she the same professor? Is this Professor Smile something? There's one lady. Do you know the person's name?
No, not really. I don't know the person's name. Like I said, she even couldn't make space for us to, interrogate or even probe her further. Once she was done with what she had to say, she just left it.
Well, what really caught my attention, for which I decided that my audience and viewers must know what is happening, is the fact that I listened to one lady. I actually didn't get the full name, but I'm told that she's the Deputy Director General of Education. She addressed you guys and at a point was saying that she cannot stand in this scorchy sun to talk to you guys. And so if you can go home.
Exactly.
So I also heard it right. And I wish I could get the person's name because I was so disappointed when I heard this, that this will come from someone we are paying with our taxes, a Deputy Director General of Education, who will not even feel the pain of the young ones. You individuals, some can be described as sons, as daughters, as brothers, as sisters. I'm sure some of you have got kids who can even be described as fathers or mothers. And for someone who is supposed to be the Director General, Deputy Director General of Education coming in and could speak this arrogantly to you, I think that the Ghana Education Service, the Minister of Education and the Ministry must sit up. Kofi, yes, you want to say something?
Yes, so that is what even aggravated the whole situation, and then we decided people are there not to leave.
I agree, and personally, I share in your pain, and I share in what you are pursuing. Tonight, you've decided to stay over. What is the next plan? You stay till what? Tomorrow morning, or you continue to when? Which day?
So tomorrow, we are hoping that they'll come and then meet us at the entrance, and then we will still register our displeasure to the way they treated us, especially the fact that the security had to chase us out as if we came there to harm somebody or, the force. But we have other plans that for now I may not be able to disclose, and we are hoping that tomorrow we are calling on our brothers who are still in the house. There are some who are still in the house to join us that tomorrow we can have very massive number, and then the other agenda will continue.
Did I hear you say that for a period now your salary has not been given to you?
In fact, we have two categories of people. We have those without staff ID. Personally, I am without staff ID. And then we have those with staff ID, but they are not receiving their money.
How long has this been?
We are in the 10th month now.
10th month?
Yes.
So 2 months short of 1 year?
Exactly.
And there's a group of you who have not received your salary?
Yes.
This is really unacceptable.
Yes.
This is absolutely unacceptable. Kofi, thanks for talking to us, and I'm sure that this is a platform that the Sending Minds listens to, and I'm sure the minister and the appropriate authorities, if assuming they have not seen your presence the whole of today, I am convinced that they will have no excuse now that you've had this platform to share your grievances. Personally, tomorrow morning, tell your colleagues that I will personally come in to come and see what is happening and to see how best I can assist you guys.
We'll be glad on that.
I'll do that. So please, you guys should be safe since you are spending the night. Be very safe, and just don't do anything that will warrant you facing the law. Just be within the law, but be safe. Tomorrow morning, I'll be there in person to assist you guys.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. So that is it, viewers. That is what is happening as we speak now. Some of you may be in the comfort of your homes, on your bed, and all that. But today, this is what is happening. The next thing, as I indicated, is the issues that we talked about. The first one, the second one, which I have gone through already, but the first one has to do with the impact of the Iran and then the Israel war. So let me quickly take you through the slides as an intro, and right after the slides, I'll activate the phone lines for you to come in and share your view. So we look at the price volatility. That is one thing that we must be looking at as far as this fight is concerned. And if you see, we have a crude surge over 10% following recent strike between Israel and Iran in June 2025. That is this month. And this has driven, or was driven by fears of disruptions through the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, we have what we call the high oil prices. We have the fuel cost hikes. Indeed, just this afternoon, is it COPEC or one of those organizations has indicated that if things continue or the trend continues as it has taken, effect this past 2-3 weeks, we should expect some increments in the fuel prices that we are having in this country. So it is as a result of that. Then we also have what we call the trade and shipping disruptions, escalating geopolitical risk. We have the increased logistical costs, which could strain Ghana's exports. And those who are in the export business will really appreciate what I'm talking about. The other one is the safe havens. Fortunately, in times of uncertainty, investors will often shift to assets like gold and the US dollar. Now, what it means is that Ghana, since we are, one of the top gold exporters, there's going to be a higher global gold prices, and that can help boost export earnings, support the cedi, accumulating foreign reserves through the gold board initiatives that we have in this country. So that is the first one. That is just a summary of the first one. The Kenuforiata one, I have already gone through it, but I'll quickly take you through it again. So we have the Kenuforiata Bruhaha. The first one is the use of public office for profit, and we all know what happened. He's wanted on charges of using public office for profit. Clearly a definition of corruption stemming from alleged corruption during his 2017 to 2024 tenure as finance minister. He has failed to respond. The OSP repeatedly failed to appear before the OSP, and that made the OSP to declare him a fugitive from justice. And this happened in the month 2025. The key corruption and procurement investigations that we are looking at here, the OSP specifically cited 5 ongoing probes. First one is the Petroleum and the Minerals Revenue Assurance. Second one is the electricity contract termination. And I remember that very well because Crusaders Against Corruption, we were so keen on that particular one. The third one has to do with misuse of funds in the National Cathedral project, and the amount involved is the $58 million. $58 million, not cedis. You know, so these are the ongoing probes, of which we are expecting the finance minister, former finance minister, to come and assist in investigation. The implications, and those were the things I took you to. The first one has to do with the investor perception. Second one has to do with donor confidence. And the third one has to do with policy continuity. These are the things that currently, now that we have the former finance minister on the red notice of the Interpol, these are the implications of it. So we have the investor perception, we have the donor confidence, and then we also have what we call the policy continuity. That is it. The third thing that I want us to also look at has to do with the appreciation of the Ghana cedi. It looks like now most people initially were happy about this, but it looks like now Ghanaians have become a bit adamant because they are still saying that they are not feeling its practical effects in their pocket. They go to the markets and there's really nothing back. But you see, empirical highlights. The cedi has appreciated between 16 and 21% against the USD since early 2025. And currently, it is trading near 12 to 13 Ghana cedis to 1 USD. From over 15, because there was a time where the dollar got to 17. And so over 15 includes all the way to 17. Today, as we speak, this morning, when I did a check, the bank rate, the cedi to dollar, it is 10.5 to $1. So clearly, the cedi is gaining weight. Now, drivers include the gold and the cocoa export boom. We have what we call the gold board or the gold for oil programs that injected proceeds directly into the forex system. And then we also have the IMF-backed fiscal reforms. Then we also have the global dollar weakness, giving emerging currencies breathing room. Sometimes I wonder if it is the same with other countries, because some neighboring countries like Nigeria and co seems not to be enjoying the kind of strength our local currency, that is the cedi, seems to be enjoying. So that is that is really it about the cedi and the dollar. But as I indicated, a lot of people are here and they are saying that they are not so happy with what is happening. And the reason why they are not happy with what is happening is because they feel like even though the cedi is coming down, I mean, it seems to be the same. And some of my friends who are in the export business like myself will tell you that, well, the cedi, appreciating against the dollar seems not to be so good for the export business. The import business, it is good. But at the end of the day, individuals are not even reducing their prices. And so the ordinary Ghanaian seems not to be benefiting so much from it. And so what exactly is happening? But before I even get to the final thought, I want to activate the phone lines so that you can call in and then you can just talk. Today, it is your view. I'm not going so deep into these topics. It is your view. Call in and share your views on any of the topics that we have discussed. And the phone lines are activated 020-415-5944. And then we also have the 020-415-5888. Call in and share your thoughts and your views as I take you through the final thoughts. And the final thought here has to do with, the summary of it. So the final thought, the first one, the Middle East. Oil shocks pose inflation and external pressure risk for Ghana, but the good export provide a buffer, though fiscal caution remains essential. And so that is the fact about this Israel-Iran war. It really poses inflation and external pressure risk for Ghana. The second one has to do with the corruption fallout from the Ken Ofori-Atta case. This could erode investor and donor trust, threatening Ghana's reform momentum, and that is also a fact. The other one, which has to do with the cedi strong rebound. I mean, at the end of the day, the cedi has become strong, but the question is it having an effect? The cedi's strong rebound. We have a first caller. Let me just get to the caller, and then I'll come back to it. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. What's your name, Car?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you are calling from. You can speak any of the local languages if you are comfortable with it.
I'm calling from in the Ashanti region.
Your name again?
Matthew.
Matthew, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm concerned about my colleagues who are protecting at the Ghana Education Service Office.
Matthew, go on. Yes.
This thing, our media has to put it. I've used myself as an example. When I was processed in 2021, starting with from 1st April 2021, and my salary came in December 2021. Imagine this long month that we are working. How we are just finished and we are being processed. And one thing to me, especially some of the staff, I just told them
Matthew, can you position yourself? I'm not sure whether the feedback is coming from.
Can you hear me?
Good, I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Yes, I am talking about the delay in payment of salaries and then the staff IDs.
Very well.
It happened to some of us like that in 2021 when we were posted from April 2021 to December 2021. And our leaders will always keep quiet. Imagine someone who are just finished school and you have posted the person is working for several months without getting salary. For those who have their staff IDs, they are secure, their money to come, but those who don't have, and sometimes the blame to be taken on some of that. Some of that they start to complain, and you know, they rather be waiting to pay money for reposting. When it happens that way, and the date of you to report, you don't report, the group automatically take you out from the system. So when you go to a new place, it becomes difficult for them to ask for you to get your money. So please, the education leaders to try their best and solve our brothers and sisters out, because it's not easy to work for 10 months without getting salary.
I agree.
So you get money to pay your T&C and feed yourself to go to work. So please, they should help them. It's not easy in this country for you to pay for 10 months without getting money. So we are begging them in the name of God. They should help them and solve it for them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matthew. I agree perfectly with you. And that's why I have personally elected to go and join them tomorrow to see what is really happening and to add my voice if I can. I don't see why someone should be working for 10 months and will know how much, I'm not even sure about how much is their salary. I mean, 10 months, it is not fair. It is absolutely not fair. So, as I said, then the last one, which has to do with the CD strong rebound, we are saying that it supports macro stability and debt sustainability, yet translating this into real economic improvements requires structural reform and careful management. I think it is the latter part that is yet to be seen, where we need to transform this into real economic improvement. It is not just enough to have a strong CD when the CD is not making any impact in our pocket. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Your name and where you are calling from?
Well, it's my name. I'm calling from UB. Honorable Kokubwan constituency.
Right. Please go ahead.
Please, first of all, I'm allowed to ask the Russia, the Middle East.
Yeah, the Middle is the Israel-Iran war.
Israel and these people.
Yes.
They just want to insist upon their rights. Something like that, you need not to do that.
Right.
You, the Israelis, you have the weapons. And why you demand them to? Then if you don't want other countries to get it, they want to spoil yours so that it makes clear to everybody not to make it to get it. And what Americans are doing, in fact, it's not good. It won't help the whole nation. It won't help. They should put a stop to it.
Very well.
It won't help them. And let me go to the oil.
Oil, yes.
You see, if you have a good leader and you have someone who can capable to be manage something, it means that if you don't when it gets to a stage where it is very difficult, although you find it challenging, but it will not be worth like that. Let's get back to this. Go back to our first president, what he did. Our first president, that's our second Dr.
Kwame Nkrumah, yes.
He knew that on Ghana would discover oil. That is why he built the oil refinery.
Yeah.
And what is the main purpose of it? Past 8 years, past 9 years or something like that, the oil refinery was working. As we are speaking, and this current damage came on net, the oil refinery is working. Are you going to find these challenges concern our petrol and other gases in this country? It really be that. The problem will come having got a vision that definitely we will produce oil here. We will discover oil in this country. To take this thing, and luckily our leaders discovered. What we have to do, we have to make effectively. Everything. So although the challenges will come to make the work, and let's get to this thing, the corruption scandal. You see, even I don't understand how the President Mahama and his team are doing. In fact, it is very critical. They should go after them. Let's go to Victor Solomon, former Deputy Finance Minister. What happened to him? And the rest. Chikata. Have you seen? They should go after them. They should look. I'm just if they are in this country here over, they should mark it on the wall and they should refuse to jail those who have caused new damage to this country. They should fail. 2028 is just, I can see that it's just about, if you just blink your eyes 4 times, 2024 has gone to us.
Yeah.
They should get to us. They should make intention that they will not prosecute or collect our money for us. They should be there. What about Kennedy as a this thing, vice president, former vice president, and the rest? If you go to everybody's sector, things don't need to go, and they are sitting out. They are not. They shouldn't do something concerned. 2028 just ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let me go to the messages whilst we still wait for calls to come in. This one says, "Good evening, Mr. Wilson. In fact, I didn't like war because the innocent suffers the most, while leaders who are in the helm of affairs are greatly protected. Concerning Mr. Ken Oforiatta, I also can imagine if it were to be any ordinary Ghanaian, he would have been arrested by now." I agree. I agree perfectly with you. This is how the powerful people in government behaves and are treated. You didn't add your name, but yes, I agree. It looks like sometimes we are so biased when it comes to the implementation of the law. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Good evening.
Good evening. Nyame adom na so e.
Nyame de oye na family mama aka oni o mampanyi de amba ya boame.
Debi aka o mampanyi de me nka ho.
Everyone ka so ka ho so ti aka ti nyame se so ga de wa dum na o sekebia ansa.
Mate.
Obi biara ansa kadi.
No cre mate. Udi ni bedu aka safi.
If I tell you what we kuma letano FM kasafi ka so ba de former NPP.
No crasa meet you.
That's the case. Nyame shout with
mate.
Yes, in animal new teacher for me come up to 2 million. Now, Nyakopon, Gentleman Mama, and buy for 8 suffer. Now I hear Omokamo. The reference of Omoko, Momo, Yedi, Basa, Stephen, your catcher of Momo, forward to now the Mao, Omoko, Dia, a day, Dr. Yedi, and I said, maybe damage to be the bar or the Diamo, now Copoto, the community short in front of the car. But call Ukraine,
Iran, Israel.
Yeah, Iran, yeah, Osha, Yadia, how the happy part because Osha, Iran, almost a car, Omwa, fire, and what the somewhere, also be more Tinti Mapa, all the Donara, and also on producer. Yeah, a day or how the break is getting and quite irregular because a color affect process and the media need to be the bar that affects irregular. You are in a couple of Comana and they are betting to treat me.
No, correct.
Now, Oka in the minister and no Rebecca and no Gimakawan. Efa new appointees are Excellency German Mama Paoma. You're afraid of Omonfa. Okay,
make I was but no tell kakra because in Crawford in a line is
you. You're best new appointees because of Excellency German Mama. 81 system. The here, Pango don't teach you. You're afraid to me and look at the mentality setting. So, only program necessarily name between my ministry. Maybe I'm a strong enough for one far. That's a for who you are and safety from. It's your company for a former of only quite information in the year too. But your former of no one see a flip. But which mean more crowd. If the other guy and the other idea of making me up why for my eyes, quite near here, and Yamamophobia. You may not have to be a yes, it's from the former Omofa. Let me tell you,
this one says, Mr. Wilson, the question I ask myself is Ghana really prepared for any eventualities like this? The world is now the world is now becoming something else due to these wars. I pray we are not affected in a way as it happened under Akufo-Addo regime, where everything was associated to Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, and this is coming from Reverend Justice Apusa from Ho. Reverend, thank you. This is from Ibrahim, my friend. From Ibrahim Tanko, my own brother, from Dunkwa. I am also a professional teacher, but these teachers should have had their staff numbers before starting teaching. Please tell them they should go through the process. Okay, that's fine. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. MPPs are still lacking normally expected degree of ability. I mean, okay, not so clear. Dear Wilson, okay, I'll come back to you. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from Kuforidia.
Your name?
My name is Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, please go.
Yeah. From Kuforidia.
Mate, obey me at your so please go on.
Yeah, from Kuforidia.
Emmanuel, can you reduce the volume on your TV set? That is why you are having a late, delayed.
Okay, I reduced everything. But
Kachi, yeah, Koso.
President Kachi.
Chiaso, Koso. Yamboni tail.
Yeah, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, sir.
Let me say, I dear Hamid Kestia Pani say, I mean not the tea gun is car by this time to achieve that.
Yes, Empa.
So what I say.
No crap.
Now, I'm then away, the gun is Kakesi up to now, 10 years. Let me present the Tiska. Well, we can actually have this kind of amount. We will control you and do the Arumia. That's it. You and control and the NBC. The Persia Chin and maybe the Sun. Thank you, yes. And I am called for almost 8 piano. Only because Excellency John Dramani Mama or Papa. Or Betty Masi. The here be Obayamo, only the Boko, and Nakan Boko, is wrong. Or buy a sailor in your 5 months. The 6 months. The ancient, and my pa oil. Maybe big cramping, and the Boko.
That's it. Thank you so much, Arimia Medase. Dear Wilson, yes, they are gradually eroding the goodwill. The apparent display of arrogance among some appointees is becoming one too many. They should continue with such arrogance and see if it will help them advance their presidential ambitions. If this administration fails, it will affect those appointees who are busily nurturing their presidential ambitions. And this is coming from Imoru Abdallah from Bongo. I always listen to your program. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
We from Kasefia, not much. I'm country.
Country, you free. But besides Udin, man, to Udini. Lookman. Kasa.
About 3 years, man, to Ama, Mahama. But
the two taposin, but the other from Ham, a correct car. Anything, maybe 7 Adahoma. Factories, the room, do factories, my. Why is the fund? Only be a name of money, and so I can say, a woman discount and Lasso, it's a poor, new poor. Later, who can tell less and be a dear position here. What do you mean? Said the same was a dear Moyer. Only factories in my. And a money company so gone and missing a half of to one didn't get through. Say money at the now, Bansi to go to me and my young Indian to never my buying. So I can say, I won't cut down on it. We just phone booking a floor. You can be said booking a phone a day. Tomorrow, I'm going to say, we'll get to go. Or to go on top of my buying, no more than I'm to go outside. Which are banning in Brafom, so I can say. No meaning that in matching booking a phone and get from to go the token to go to go. Young Pamo, to go.
Look, man, to be say before they too much. To Bona and some now can be walk around Namiam Shesheme. But it's all say, then I can say you be coming for one day.
There be the same brass to say in 24 on my discount. I'm not saying you could you couldn't be young. And look, man, Tobo, and Brow Honmo. Say, a idea to say a domuco prison and near Domaco Honmo. And I mean, okay, in the end, this is because of Momukodo. Omukodom, young baby, and my who received it to Janet from Moon. Got drunk against a second from Monty, and your Bendy. Martin, Mamma, yeah, believe in putting my papa, and my.
Look, my meda say, I don't be me no yard. It's a Omukodo. It's a new journey. Me no yard. So let me quickly go back to the messages. This one says, I always listen to your program. To be honest, our branch executives have started losing hope in some of our leaders. I'm a branch executive in communication at Medina. I am still jobless and I'm a member of the election task force guard. You didn't add your name. All right, this one says, good evening, Mr. Wilson. I believe that the Iran and Israel war will cause us more harm than good, especially the petroleum sector. So my prayer is that they lay down their arms. Besides, the current government is dealing with corrupt officials, but not family issues. So his family members should vacate away from this case in either not to cause more harm. In addition, my colleague teachers should know that this was a problem created previously by the MPP government, but I surely believe the NDC as a problem solver will definitely see them through without failure. I am Gazari Anthony from Ashanti Bekwai. I agree with you. He indicated right from 2022, so that was under His Excellency Akufo-Addo's government. But, 5-6 months into an administration, I'm not the type of person, or I don't belong to the school of thought that says that even after 5 months, we should still be saying that the problem was caused by a previous administration. I think the honeymoon is over. 5-6 months, let us get to work and start solving issues. Even if we are not ready to solve issues, we should find a way of negotiating and giving hope, and not like the Deputy Director General of Education said to them, that the weather is so hot for her to stand in there and to be addressing their issues. That is an insult. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. All right, so unfortunately, my producer says we can't take any more callers. Let me still go through some of the messages, one or two of the messages before I wrap up. This one says, good evening, Mr. Wilson. I believe that the Israel... Okay, so I think I've gone through this one. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. Greet President Mahama for me, wherever you meet him. Okay, I will. Recently, National, that is NIA, Identification Authority, have issued 17.4 million cards out of 18.7 cards. And 822,000 remaining uncollected. All this symbolizes the reset agenda spirit. Indeed, this man is eager to rebuild Ghana that we want. Mahama to us. Also, my greetings to Kofi. Okay, Kofi Oyedin. Okay, and this is the humble servants, and this is from teacher Abu Buakon. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. Permit me again to suggest that the current government should put measures in place by making sure that the Tema refinery refines our crude to oil. If not, the country will continue to suffer in times like this. And I am Gazari again, Anthony from Asante Bekwai. And this issue of TOR, it is one issue that baffles me. One of the callers rightly said, and that is something I have said over the past years, right under the administration of His Excellency Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, way before we could even have what we call oil or discover oil, he had a vision of building Tema Oil Refinery for us. The irony of it is that a person decided to build Tema Oil Refinery for us even when we had not discovered oil. Today, we have subsequent governments who came to inherit Tema Oil Refinery. We've been able to discover oil, but under their leadership, Tema Oil Refinery is not working to full capacity. And you ask yourself what kind of leaders we have in this country. You ask yourself whether indeed we are having leaders who are thinking outside the box. You ask yourself whether indeed it is even worth paying taxes to individuals whose duty it is to just ensure that the system is working, and yet the system seems not to be working. And so I agree with all the testers, I agree with all the callers, even though I promised to be very brief so that we'll have enough callers. It looked like I couldn't achieve that purpose. The number of individuals who were still on the line that I couldn't pick, I apologize. But I'm sure probably subsequent episodes will have another interactive moments like this. The testers, and as I said, with the very last one coming from Anthony Gazari, it is very, very important for us. If TOR was working, the Israel-Iran war in times like this, we may have felt the impact, but it wouldn't have been so much. My fear now, as has been indicated earlier, is that it is highly possible that we may have some increment in the fuel prices or the gas that we have in this country. And it is as a result of this Iran-Israel war that is happening in this country. I would also want to say, particularly to the finance ministry and the government of the day, it is not just enough to strengthen the cedi against the dollar. What is important is for us to feel it and have its impacts. And so the dollar cedi can be reduced. I mean, the cedi can gain its strength and it can even be at par. It can be 1:1. But if at the end of the day, commodities still remain high, the prices remain high, at the end of the day, it will not have an effect on our spending, then truly speaking, we will still have a long way to go. It is important to put mechanisms in place to ensure that we can manage these gains that we are having so that it will translate into practical benefit for you and I, for the viewers, for me, for our family, for everyone, because that is the most important thing. And to the special prosecutor, to the law enforcers, Ken Oforiatta is not above the law. Let us stop playing with the emotions of people. Today, we say that, okay, there's a notice on them, on Ken Oforiatta, red notice. Tomorrow, it is something else. We should stop playing these political and media gimmicks. We need results. What would have been done to the so-called ordinary citizen, the same thing should be done. In fact, it should be very strict when it comes to our leaders. because leaders are supposed to lead by example. And so if leaders, you create the impression and the environment as though leaders have the opportunity to rather go against the law and, go free, then we are not encouraging the citizens to be law-abiding. This is something all of us must think about. Next week, we'll go into another episode, God willing, and probably we'll have, I'm not sure, we may have a similar episode where you'll be the guest, or probably we'll have a guest to come for us to discuss other equally important and topical things. This very moment, I want to appreciate you for being my guest, and I want to appreciate the many others who have sent in messages, but for time I'm not able to read. I want to also appreciate my wonderful team members that I have with me here. At the appropriate time, I'll mention their names, but I want to appreciate each and every one of you. Next week, same time, we will meet and we'll have another insightful one. Let us pray as we sleep for our brothers and sisters who are out there picketing, spending the night outside till tomorrow. I'm hoping that tomorrow morning, the appropriate authorities, indeed, I wish by this time we would have heard that the education minister had gone there to have a conversation with them, for them all to go home in peace, to go and have a sleep. But if it doesn't happen, I'm praying that tomorrow morning we'll have some good and then, exemplary leadership from the minister, the ministry, the directors, and all appropriate individuals, so that our brothers and sisters out there, at least 10 months salary, come on, think of it. Assuming it is you, what would you have done? All too soon, this is where time will allow us. I'm still your host, Emmanuel Wilson-Jnr., and I thank you so much for making time. I want to say this coming Wednesday is my son's birthday, and so I wish him, a great, wonderful birthday. I pray that he grows to be more than his father. He wants to be referred to as Emmanuel Wilson III. He doesn't want the junior. So he's Emmanuel Wilson III. So love you so much, Emmanuel Wilson III. And till we meet again next week, all I can say for now is good night.